Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hi, I'm going to go off camera just for a second. I am trying to get a code for this so that I can claim host, and I will be right back. So talk amongst yourselves.
So is everybody in recovery mode today?
Yes, I feel like it. Although I wasn't too bad.
I haven't done a darn thing all day. So I figure I can work on everything else tomorrow.
Yes, that I agree.
Okay, we are at the top of the hour, so I want to welcome everybody to today's buddy call. And I am Annette, Coach Annette, and I've seen some of you on some of the other calls, but I don't know if you've met me yet. So I just want to say hello, happy day after Christmas. And I heard the question, is everybody in recovery mode? Hopefully you're in thriving mode and we're able to use some of the techniques over this holiday season to help you maneuver or get through or thrive through the holiday season with food, emotional eating, cravings, um, family. This is a big time for get-togethers, and that is part of today's thing too, is tribal trauma, which is the stuff that we have with our families and our friends when we start losing weight, if and when we start losing weight. So as you raise your hand, if there's anything that you'd like to, you have a win, love if you would introduce yourself, just your name real quick and what your win is, and then we'll get into Q&A, either with your win or afterwards, and we'll do some tapping as we see what comes up. Does anybody want to go first? You can just unmute yourself. Nobody?
Hello.
Hi,
My
Marlene.
name
Hi, you go ahead, the other one.
Oh, who else? Margaret?
Marlene.
Tiffany, go ahead.
Oh, bless. Thank you. Hello. Good morning. No, good evening. I have just jumped on. Now. Very, very first. I'm sort of a very, very newbie. I'm happy to be a newbie. Everyone has to be a newbie at some point, I expect. Um, Christmas was interesting. And I managed to do some tap and bitch, and it kind of really helped take the edge off. And what I found it enabled me to do was stick within kind of some parameters of what I wanted to do with eating. And so when I was able to sneak away and spend a little bit of time by myself, I found that I could continue with my sort of parameters of eating that I wanted to do. And I was very grateful for that. Thanks.
Thank you. How did you choose the tap and bitch technique?
Oh, when you begin with any of the courses, it's in the bonus section, and I am hoping that my buddy is able to join me, soon when she can. And so I just kind of dove into that rather than doing that very, very first module.
Okay, I just want, because tap and bitch is one of my favorites.
Mm,
It's absolutely one of my favorites. I can just say whatever I want to say, give myself 5 to 7 minutes, let go of any angst, any anxiety, any frustration and stuff before I start eating. So tap and bitch for me is a big one, which is why I wanted to know why did you choose that one?
yeah, it
So
did catch my eye when I was looking through the bonuses. Can I ask if anyone else has had an experience with it? I tend to find that I'll go somewhere and then I'll jump to somewhere really, really random. And it's something that I'm angry at myself with, and I don't know whether that's common or not.
Anybody else want to add anything to that?
I
Their
don't
experience?
I don't understand what you're saying, Tiffany. You mean
Beg
you
your
jump
pardon?
around in the program?
No, I beg your pardon. I jump around in my mind of what I'm focusing on. I'm tapping and bitching with what's in front of me. And then I kind of go somewhere and the second part jumps in and it's something where I'm very, very, very angry at myself with, I don't know, whatever I've done in the moment. I've possibly self-sabotage myself or something like that. But I've been very, very angry at something that I've done myself.
I tend to do that with some of the other protocols that I've used. I may try to go back to a little girl and then I end up landing in the middle of my divorce.
Yeah.
And it throws me from one place to the other. And yeah, everybody else may be working on something else, but I come up with something different.
I'll start with one thing, then something else will come to mind. And I feel like that is probably what the real issue is. So I will tap on that, continue on with the new one. That seems to work for me.
My mind's always racing. I I have a hard time focusing on anything specific. However, sometimes I'll get a memory that comes up and surprises me that um, then I can think deeper on that topic. But most of the time, it's kind of on the surface and racing from idea to idea.
I think that's the beauty of tap and bitch and the freedom that we have in that specific technique is to just bitch about it, right? We just start talking, and as our minds are, and it's very common, it is very common, Tiffany, for oh, my mind's over here and then my mind's over there, and oh, that's right, and I forgot about that, and God, can I just like stay focused for a minute, and that's part of what I do too. And I don't know what to have on the menu, or I had that last time, or what do I even care? I mean, there's just a lot of different things that come up, and just to keep tapping and bitching about it till you kind of feel that like, okay, I'm there. And it might not be something specific in the tapping, but you're feeling into or touching into something that might be a common thread that might not actually have a name. So that's a really good, it's tap and bitches. Like I said, I'll say it over and over, one of my favorites. So
I haven't done tap and bitch. I've been in the program since, I guess it's about a month now. Although I'm getting emails telling me I'm in my third month, so I don't get that. But anyway, but I could have used it yesterday because I opened a gift from a neighbor, and it was my very favorite thing. I haven't had in a long time. It's I forget the brand name, but it's Scottish shortbread.
mhm.
And so I started with peace. I think, heck, it's Christmas. Next thing I know, really, it's gone. And I loved every bite. So I could have used it there because later I thought, well, crap, I didn't have to eat the whole thing. Um, so my understanding is you can use it on anything. It could be about somebody else. It could be something that happened, or it could even be about what what I've done that maybe I wish I hadn't. I mean, am I correct in that? That it could be used on.
Absolutely. And as you're saying that to me right
Mhm.
now, Grace, I'm just thinking, now I worked in the fire service for 20 years, and then I worked in construction before that. So I tend to have a mouth on me, but I
Oh,
will
me too. I'm just not
refrain.
using it. Why the fuck
Refrain.
did they give me shortbread? Didn't they know it was their
But
favorite thing to talk
you're
about?
just tapping. Oh my God, why did they bring me that? I love it. I haven't had
I
it in forever. And I wish they wouldn't have brought it. And, oh my God, I ate the last thing I knew, I was eating one piece, and the next thing I knew, it was gone. I have
It's
no
not it. I
idea.
wish I had more.
I hate when this happens. I wish I had more. So it's
Yeah,
just a
okay.
beautiful way. It's kind of
Basically, to get it out of the nervous system, kind
it's
of,
a
right?
free flow. Think of it
Okay.
as a free flow poem from your
Yeah.
insides to the universe, and you can just
Inside,
allow
yes.
yourself.
To get it out from the insides. Right.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, great. That's really helpful.
Mhm.
Somebody, I think it was maybe Rachel, or a couple people were just saying, "What is that?" And I'm new here, and I don't know what that is. And I don't know. It sounds like it's a hot topic. It's feeling
Yeah.
body. It's a hot topic. What
And
is this? Because this
tap
could
and
be
bitch is in the
serious.
portals.
Yeah.
both in the Tapping Circle and the Thrive portals. And it is just that. There's not a lot of rigidity to it because it is such a free form flow, or form of flow, and it's so specific to whatever's happening to you right now. A great time that I like to use it is, like I had mentioned, is before I'm in a restaurant, because there's a lot going on, and sometimes I always want to know what other people are ordering because I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be eating, right? What I should eat. And I just want to let that go, let that
Angst.
stuff go. So
You could use it for any sort of angst, really.
absolutely. Frustration, angst, even
Yeah.
joy. Sometimes, people, when you get so excited and you're really joyful, and sometimes you overeat, or
Mm.
or there's like almost a frenzy,
Yeah.
that's a good way to do it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
And
Jeannie, I'm sorry.
I don't remember if it's in Tapping Circle or Thrive, but down below there's bonus section, and there's also a bunch of audios, and some are video. And I think at least one, Brittany's doing an audio video on that, but there's at least some audios. So maybe you can get the gist of it here, but go check it out there too. There's
In
a lot
addition,
to discover once you're in these things.
whether you've been here a while or you just kind of want a refresher,
Mhm.
on Tuesday evenings and Friday mornings, I do a welcome orientation call into the program. Just
Oh,
just kind of it's just a quick run through of the portal itself, and trying to go through the organization so that you are just aware of the flow of how it goes. So that is in the Facebook group, the links to that. And right now I have them scheduled through the end of January. But again, it's Tuesday evenings. That is at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, and Friday mornings at 11 a.m. Eastern. If anybody wants to join those, please feel free to do so. And again,
okay. So that's just basically a run through of, is it tapping or Thrive? Is it tapping?
it's both. You can come and I actually go through both portals,
Okay.
my Tapping Circle portal and the Thrive program, just to get a flow, um, just so you can kind of get an introduction to how the system is worked up for your best. And I'll always say, don't take it so seriously. Go with the flow. It's all laid out so well. So I want to make sure that that is available to you, that you're aware of that. It is posted in the Facebook group, but just so that you know here. And
Yeah.
then,
Thanks. Thank you.
thank you. Jeannie.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me? You can. Well, two things actually. I'm going to go to the second point first. And there were three of us turned up to one of these induction calls, and there was no facilitator. I think the email came from you. What a laugh, because it was actually very useful, just the three of us chatting. And I have made contact with both these ladies. So to the person who has posted, how do I get a buddy? I had posted, as per Brittany's instructions, put a post up. I don't know what happened to it, got taken down or something. But I have actually managed to make contact with these two women and a couple of other folk through just going to these things. So that is good. So that's my one thing. But actually, the reason I put my hand up was because you were talking about I'd rather call it tap and rant, because bitch is a
Okay.
derogatory
Okay.
female term.
Tap and
But
rant.
really, this is just an example of this actually, because I've also, as you can tell, not been in. I did the 6-week program in the summer, but I've just started with Thrive again about 4 weeks ago, because I thought, hang on a minute, 6 months has come and gone, and I'm not where I'd like to be. Blah blah. Anyway, my point is that this is just an example of that technique, because this blew my mind how effective it was. My husband this is an old pattern. My husband had just really wound me up. He did something that really annoyed me. And instead of just falling into that pattern of rah, 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 I managed to take myself away from it, go to the bathroom and do this technique and go, oh, I started off with, even though I'm furious with my husband. I love and accept myself, blah, blah, blah. But then I just ranted about what he was annoying. And I did say it out loud very quietly. I just went on about what was annoying me about it. And I very quickly calmed down, and then was able to quite easily get into he means no harm. He's kind. Wasn't intentional. Blah 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 blah. And I came right back down. It was like fantastic. Managed to just completely, on that occasion, avoid a really unhelpful long pattern. It's like this stuff really works. So that's just my example. There we are.
Well, it's an example and a win. So thank you for sharing that. And I do actually like the name Tap and Rant. So I like the name Tap and Bitch, but but Tap and Rant I think is also a good alternative name for that. So and then you bring up a point. There was the one day that I did the call and I was on the call through the link that I have and there was nobody there. And then I got an email saying that there were 3 people on the call, but I wasn't there. So I am not sure where that disconnect was, but I will make sure that for the month of January, that is my homework.
No problem in that, but it was successful regardless. But that's
Good.
good to know. I will turn up to one of your other meetings.
Yeah. So fix the link for welcome. So thank you. Awesome. Anybody else? Yes, Marlene.
What is the actual Facebook group name now to get in?
It's the tapping circle. So Brittany is changing the model of her business. And it comes up for me as my tapping circle or the tapping circle. Give me a minute while my eyes shift because I'm going to pull it up really quick.
Okay, thanks. I appreciate it because I want to get it on my phone so that I can quickly access it.
If it looks like I'm doing something else right now, I am.
I've got it under Thick and Thin Thrive is what pops up, but that looks like it's older.
The Think and Then Thrive is the portal for the modules, and I believe there will still be, I say I believe, there will still be the buddies, how to access the buddy groups there, but My Tapping Circle is the portal for the subscription.
Okay.
And that also has, both portals will have a link to the welcome calls. And there's a gal, Lena, who posts for us behind the scenes, and she really is truly phenomenal about keeping things pinned to the top of so you're not having to search for it, way down in the depths of the conversation. So it is My Tapping Circle, and it is a private group, but if you're not in it already, please do. Let's see if I can just do a little link here. I'm not always the most technical person, but there's the link to the Facebook group. Anybody else? Grace?
Well,
oh. Grace, if you'll hold on just Marlene, let me
Sure,
let you
yeah.
finish and then we'll come back to you, Grace.
I don't have a win, but I kind of want to get it off my chest that I was invited to a couple different meals that were more vegetarian based. Nobody had meat, but there was a lot of food. And I took small portions, but I still had seconds. And then I had all desserts. And I tried absolutely everything at both places. And I feel totally disgusted with myself. I've watched every
I want you to tap while you're talking to me.
Okay, I've watched like today. I watched 2.5 hours of Brittany and um, the fellow giving like a pitch for joining the circle and that, so that I could tap and gain anything out of that. Like I've attended anything that had to do with Brittany and tapping, right? Um, but it was just kind of like, even though I knew all that at the first party, I was able to. Break cookies in half and share them with somebody else, right? So that was my win on that. And then nobody wanted to share a cookie, so I was told, "Well, take it with you." And oh, take these with you too. And I just plain overate, and I just acted like I didn't ever have the program in me because I ate it all on the drive home, right? And so I'm just it's a setback in that respect, even though I know what to do and I'm really grateful for hearing about that tap and bitch one. I'll work on that one. Um, yeah, I just control. I did that one that Jimmy and Brittany were doing on um, welcoming new people into um, Thick, Thin, and Thrive, and about the ball of light. I have a hard time holding on to the ball of light, and what else do I have a challenge with. The lady gave me a couple cookies, and I didn't want to eat them. They didn't even look like something I'd eat, right? But then I smelt them, and they smelled like pancakes, and that reminded me of me taking my mom out for pancakes, and that was something we enjoyed. So, um, I did like that like 3 times back to back to try and get rid of that craving because I knew that it's not something I normally crave, but that was a good time for me with my mom. Anyway, a lot of my family's gone now. It's kind of amazing how people just disappear, like they died. It's like, wow, that one's gone too, right? So I think I have a little bit of a hard time figuring out who to tap to that's left, right? Uh,
Well,
anyway,
they don't have to be left. They can be deceased or passed on. As you're talking, the lights behind you, those northern lights behind you, um, I just feel like they're around you, even though they've gone, and I don't know what your beliefs are, and I'm not putting mine on you. I just feel like they're not gone. They're there. You have a support system that you absolutely, pardon the pun, can tap into um,
hmm
to help you with this stuff or ask questions of, and it's my experience working with clients how intuitive they are and how those answers are already deep within them. So when you're accessing your support system, that is also part of your higher self being able to give you those answers back. So I think your win is that you were very conscious of
hmm
of what was happening, and in past that may not have been the case. So I do
hmm
believe you have a win in there. Um, and just even the thought process of splitting the cookies or taking them home, and that might be a push the food away or throw it in the trash, an opportunity to really go deeper and understand what that attachment is.
Okay, thanks. Should I get rid of that background?
No, no,
Okay,
not at all.
otherwise
No,
it's my messy living room. Word.
I uh, no,
I am a
thanks.
spiritual person and it does work for me. I just kind of found them recently, so I thought, oh, I'll
No,
stick
it's
with that because I live
fantastic.
up north anyway. Okay, thanks, Annette. I
Fantastic.
appreciate that win. That's a good idea. I should have put them in
Yeah.
the trash.
And just as you're doing this tapping, and I encourage anybody as we do any tapping with one person that you follow along, because you've all, I believe have heard of the secondary benefits or gains that we all get from tapping as a collective, that it might not be exactly everyone's issue, but there are tiny pieces within them that most likely will resonate with something that you're struggling with as well, or a challenge that you may be having. So,
Thanks.
anybody else have a win? Lisa, am I saying that right? I can't hear you, but you're not muted.
Is that better?
Yes.
Can you hear me now? Okay. I had something funny happen. My best friend is a super skinny person, and she was just told by her doctor that she was too thin. So, my goal now is to teach her how to be a fat person.
Maybe the two of you can work together.
And we can probably work together. Yeah. Yeah.
Push the food
Anyways,
away to her.
I'll push it to right to her. Well, I did. Actually, I went shopping because I went to make her Christmas dinner because she broke her ankle because she has bad bones now because she's so thin. And So I went shopping and I got all these fattening foods and I took them all to her and with instructions of when and how to eat them. So I was happy.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Do you have any
Anyway,
questions?
what's it's so tap? I don't know what tap and bitch is.
Tap and bitch is just the term for being, it's, and like it was said earlier, you know, instead tap and rant. So if that makes it easier to understand. So it's with frustration, with anxiety, with irritation, with happiness, just the ability to just start tapping and verbalizing what might be happening inside, even if you don't have, and if you don't have the words, it could be, I'm so frustrated. I'm so frustrated. I'm so frustrated. And it's just getting that out of your body and out into
Yeah.
the universe, because the universe can just take it, collect it, throw it in the trash bin, and grow something beautiful from it.
I think I'd be just doing that all day long and my face would probably fall off me for all the tapping. Yes. Yeah. Mm. So anyway, I just started the program, so I'm
Okay.
still a
Well,
newbie.
welcome. And yeah, go through the portal, join us on a welcome call, but go through the portal. And I will say the first place to start is your welcome email that you get, because that's going to have a lot of information in it. And
Yeah, I've done mostly introduction and started into the first module.
And as you play, don't has each module builds on itself. I don't want this to become an intro call, but each module builds on itself.
Yeah,
Yet each
I
of them are a
assumed that.
standalone as well. So if you want to
Yeah.
play in there and find the tap and bitch, you know, you can just kind of, if you're curious and want to go and look at it, you can do that as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I have to, smother my husband every day. So,
All right. All right. Great.
I love him to bits. He's wonderful, but you just have to smother him every day.
Okay. All right. And Rachel.
Hey, thank you. This is my first thing. I joined, I was on like the 7 day challenge and then I joined. And so I too have been having a little bit of just trying to figure out how to start and what to do. So the welcome call that you mentioned, that's helpful. So Tuesday or Friday, that's the call to jump on. So that'll be great. Thank you. I think the win is just that I'm here because I've heard like a bunch of things already that have been super helpful. So thank you. And I love that there's a real live human component to this because I don't do well. I've bought so many courses that are like all self like driven or whatever. And then like I never do them because like it's just a lot and I can't get to it. And then there's no live contact. So it's just me. And anyway, so I think this is really good for me and sticking close to these live calls is going to be important. I do want to just ask a question or just say that, I had an experience today where it's like I'm very well aware of what I'm doing in terms of like either emotional overeating or even that thing of the happy memory thing of holidays. Like, I don't know, I've become very aware that like, I don't know how to do the holidays without overeating. Like, it feels like there's something missing if I don't participate in stuffing my face. And I just have to be honest about that. And it's like, yeah, ugh, but there's nothing I can do about that. Like that, it's just my culture. It's how I grew up. It's how I was imprinted or whatever. But yeah, I don't want to keep doing that. But like even today, I started in with the cookies and I wasn't willing, and I'm going to be honest, I wasn't willing to not do it. Like I thought to myself, I can probably go find like the tapping program for this right now, or like do it, like I could just stop right now and just go do that. And I was like, yeah, I could, but I don't want to do that right now because I want to do this right now. And it feels so compelling, like in that moment. So do you have any like suggestions about that or anything?
My first thought, and if after I'm done, anybody wants to say what they do in a situation like this, my first thought though is one, having that awareness, and that is the very first win, is having the awareness that it's available to you and I still don't want to do it. Right.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to take the time to go figure it out, something different than what I want. But what I would, it sounds a little bit like that authority figure that you don't want to be told what to do, how to do it. I don't know. I want to eat all the cookies. I don't
Right.
really
It's a
wanna-
holiday and I
yeah,
should
it's
have these.
it's the
Yeah.
holidays. And I'm gonna say a million years ago, I was in Weight Watchers. And I remember one of the times the woman said to me, if you account for, oh, it's the weekend, oh, it's a holiday, oh, it's a birthday, it's like a third of the year.
Yeah, there's always something. I know.
And if you think
Believe me.
about it like that, it's like, oh, that's not so good.
Totally.
But what I would suggest is even in that moment that you're eating the cookies and it's the holiday and you don't see, nor do you want to see a way to celebrate that day, whether it's Christmas or celebration or, a birthday, whatever it is, to really just like, I can feel all these little tingles in my body right now. And you're just, you're just like, shake it off for a minute. Okay. I'm going to make a choice. I'm going to make a choice to have this cookie. I know better. I know what I should be doing, but right now I'm going to take it. I'm just going to make the choice to do it and own it. Because I think that's really important for us to own when we win, when we struggle, and when I was going to use the word fail. That's not a good word. When we don't live up to our own expectations. So I think my first thing would be to own it, to understand that you are morphing right now. And quite often when we can't see a vision yet, I used to say that I couldn't see myself thinner. I didn't know how to get there because I didn't have a vision of what that was supposed to look like. So I think until you get that vision of something that's very personal for you versus, oh yeah, I should lose 50 pounds. That's just arbitrary number. So really just to own it, to bounce around a little bit, to take that moment before you step into it, if you're able to. I don't say that as an end all be all because it is such a personal exploration for each and every one of us. But is that helpful at all?
It is. Yeah. I mean, I think because I actually kind of did intuitively do that because I decided, if I'm going to do this, like, enjoy it. Don't because I do this thing where then I'm like stressed out about doing it, but I'm doing it anyway. So I'm kind of doing it in secret and I'm like, just not enjoying it. So it was a little bit of a win because I said to my family, like, hey, does anybody else want an ice cream sundae? And like, they were like, yeah. And so it was like, at least it wasn't like a secret weird thing that I was doing in the background. I tried to be like more, like you're saying, to own it more. But yeah, because then it's really ridiculous if I'm doing it and then I'm not even enjoying it. And then I'm feeling bad about it. So it's like this cycle of like nonsense that's not.
It's like this crazy 8, right? We just keep going into this loop, and until we can just find a way to just tweak that and shoot off into a different direction.
Yeah.
So yeah, congratulations, I would say to you.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to be here. It's good to be here. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for joining today. Margaret.
Hi, I want to go back to Tuesday when Brittany did anger tapping.
Yeah.
And it went very well for me. I tapped because of frustration. I have a friend who has Alzheimer's and trying to help her navigate some stuff. I mean, she has a daughter that she lives with and that, but as a friend, it's very frustrating because in the morning I talked to her and she didn't like what I told her. So she told me, don't bother coming to see me again. And then in the afternoon, she calls me to see how I'm doing. So all that frustration, and I tapped on that frustration, the anger. It was so freeing that I was exhausted when it was over. And I slept so good that night. And the relief from that frustration has carried on, going forward. And then my food win yesterday at Christmas dinner. We had roast and mashed potatoes and carrots and stuff, and I had just a regular portion of stuff. And then I had 4 different desserts I brought home with me, small pieces. I ate every bit of the brownie. It was wonderful. I had a little piece of apple pie that was horrible. I tasted it. I threw the rest of the piece away. I didn't put it back in the refrigerator. I just threw it away. Some dump cake, which I ate the fruit out of it and threw the cake part away. So I thought I did well, and I was proud of myself for just throwing away, not putting it back in the refrigerator. So that was my win.
I think that's a great win.
And I do want to say something about Tap and Bitch, because I do like it. And I've really discovered that I have so much anger about so many different things that I didn't realize. But I kind of equate Tap and Bitch with throwing up, because, when you're going to throw up, you do an initial throw up, and then your system kind of churns a little bit and something else comes up. And I think as we go through that, that's kind of the way I felt. Oh, I threw that part up, and now this other part's coming to the surface. So it's like layers that are uncovered. So
It actually is layers, absolutely. And you're describing it perfectly.
very beneficial. Very beneficial. Thank you very much.
Thank you for sharing. And
Sure.
and for your friend, I'm so proud of you for doing the tapping with the frustration of your friend, because as any of us that have dealt with anybody with Alzheimer's, that there's so much confusion and fear and frustration associated with that disease for the person themselves experiencing it, and then those around them who are having to care for or try to communicate with. There's just
Right.
so much, there's so much crazy behind it, and I don't mean crazy I'm just things that it's confusing. So I'm really proud of you for doing that anger work and the tapping, and then having such a phenomenal night's sleep. I'm really excited for you for that.
Yes, it was wonderful. It was such a burden lifted.
That's fantastic. Congratulations.
Oh, and Brittany did say something in the anger thing about when you're tapping. If you tap slowly, it seems to be more effective. And I've tried to follow that, and I do think that it just slows you down, I think.
Well, part of that is like, especially if you're doing anger work, right? And that anger, and you start speaking faster, or you're amplified and stuff. By tapping slower and doing that, it mixes the signals in your brain too. It's like it's not congruent. So as you're tapping slower and just releasing all the anger that you wanted and just keep tapping. There's something that kind of transforms that. And as she said, if you were able to watch the recording or visit live, you know, as you're doing anger work too, you really want to get to that point of exhaustion, whether it's sadness or exhaustion or just relief. That is really where you know that you've let that go for that session.
Right.
So yeah, it's
Right.
very good work.
Mhm.
Yeah. Marlene.
Something came to me while I was doing this tapping, and that I tend to think of food on holidays and get-togethers as like, this is it, right? This is the last time I'll have this food. It's the sense of urgency and sense of loss. Um, and I'm I'm thinking it's got to do with maybe the fact that I've lived a long way away from my family for so many years, right? And to have a gathering is so, it's really exciting to me, right? And I, because the taste of the food, once you have a bite of one thing and another, it's like they all kind of taste the same. Um, but to keep eating and trying absolutely everything, and I think, like, all the Christmas baking and things like that, a lot of it I haven't had before, but I think it's a sense of loss that I'm going to lose the sense of community or something like that I'm embraced in it at that time, and so stop I don't want to stop that feeling. And anyways, I just kind of clued in on that while I was tapping to the not really disgust, but a bit disgust of not stopping, like just trying everything, right? I didn't need to try absolutely everything, but I think it's got to do with the fact that, oh, I don't know when I'll have that again, if I'll ever have that again, right? So, anyways, I just thought I'd mention it.
Thank you for doing that. And I appreciate the revelation, that it is a connection. And so much of, I mean, we've done that with the ball of light, cravings, and it being a connection to something that is positive or somebody that you loved. Of course, emotional eating in and of itself is a different animal, so to speak, but it's also a connection to ourself, a younger version of ourselves, or something of an event in a younger version of ourselves, whether that was a younger version yesterday or a younger version 50 years ago. So that connection with food, and of course, it's not like we can live without food, right? We have to have it. And so we use it to celebrate, and we use it to nourish ourselves, and we use it when we're sad. We use it for connection and loss and joy. So food is a very tricky, part of our life. And we demand a lot of it in our experience as human beings. So I'm excited that you just had that revelation and realized what that connection is for you.
Thank you. Is there a particular area I should focus on, like a script or something? I like to tap, but I never know exactly what to go to.
That's where I would suggest going through the Facebook, because in the Facebook portion, there is in both the tapping circle and the Thrive, up at the top, there's a tab called Files. And let me see if I can, do you guys mind if I share my screen for a second?
Go ahead.
So here, so in you have your discussion. This is the main page that we're all used to seeing. And then the members events. But in this files, you'll see so many, I mean, you could spend days here going through some of these scripts. There's, false knight, which is like your knight in shining armor, or who you think is supposed to save you. Feeling unsafe, talking inside of a group, public speaking, the little echo, tapping self. These can all be, they do not have to be read verbatim. If there's, like with regular tapping, if there's ever a time where the words or the script doesn't feel exactly right to you, feel free to change it how it resonates best with you, whether it's a sentence, a word, or the whole thing. Any questions about that, where this is?
Thanks.
Absolutely. Anybody else have some wins or some questions?
Hi there. I'm Suzanne. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Okay, good. So I don't know, it's a win-win all around, and it just feels awful, which is usually when I would succeed greatly at doing something like not going to visit my brother, who triggers me like crazy over the Christmas holidays, with my elderly husband, who just didn't want to navigate the airport. And so he said to me several days after I had made the plans with him, don't worry, if you can't come, it's not a big deal, don't worry about it. And then when I canceled, man, it was like I got a brick thrown at me. And I kind of knew it would happen, but then I realized all of our Christmases passed. Not just me with my brother, but I'm one of 7 children, and all of the crazy that came around. And he was affected by it, and I was affected by it. And so that's a whole story in and of itself. But the way that I could numb myself out was to eat, or the way that I could push down the feelings was to eat. I live in New York City, and to go to Pittsburgh was like going to hell for me. only because his house is filled with dangerous food for me. And I've been really comfortable and safe in my own environment, choosing not just what to eat, but what not to eat. Like, one of my sisters is in town. I was uptown with her and rushed home to get here. So I got on, it was 7:15 or 7:20, and I thought, oh, this is great. I'm so glad. And I was going to go to the ice cream store, and then I was going to go get, because that was my normal pattern. But the win-win for me has been to live with the consequences of disappointing my brother, who wields a mighty sword. And to know that just in the last several weeks since I joined, first of all, I joined with the idea that I love any place that says, if you're not happy with it, you'll get all your money back. So that's what got me in. But in the first 2 weeks that I was in, I could cry tears of joy for the moments of sanity that I've had. Even like the way some people have talked about recognizing what they're doing, but just having a vision of myself the way that I want to be, and thinking, I know it's attainable. I've had it before, and it's okay that I fell back. I'm back up in the saddle. And what I really feel great about is that I haven't had to tell everybody what I'm doing. And the tapping has been highly effective for me, in so much as yesterday I was tapping and I couldn't flesh out what it was that I really wanted to be tapping about. And as I continued to tap, and I went one round, I think I went 4 or 5 rounds. By by the third round, it was right down to the bone. And it was so clear that I wanted to feel better about myself and that the food was a side issue. And that for me is huge because I don't think I've been this conscious in a really long time. I did tapping years ago, but I never did it with the commitment that I have now. I'm not concerned about getting my money back anymore. I just feel really grateful that at this stage of my life, it can be used for so many things, not just my distress around food, but my distress around a lot of the physical problems that I have, the problems in my family, on, on. And knowing that food never made me feel better when I tried to numb it out because it only did it for a short time. And then I felt guilty, and feeling guilty and awful on top of a full stomach is the pits. So I had a wonderful Christmas with my husband and my sister who came to visit. Everything is just kind of not, it's not all great, but it just feels promising. I feel hopeful for the first time in 2 years. And that's pretty remarkable for me.
That is remarkable. And I'm so excited for you. And, you know, if you're reading in the comments at all, your comment about that food is a side issue is
Yeah.
really, you know, that's a very strong statement and realization. And
Yeah.
I also appreciate the crazy of being one of 7. You know, there's a lot that comes to that. And the expectations, you know, the growth in being able to let go of trying to make somebody else feel better at your own expense, right? A lot of people do it, but women tend to do it more often than not, where we are trying to accommodate or help somebody feel better, but it's often at our own expense without regard to what it's doing to us. And especially if you are very sensitive to other people's feelings or a caregiver, you know, that is something that can be very damaging if not kept in check. So well done. And I'm glad you had a great Christmas. And I applaud you too for understanding the boundaries and respect of not wanting to navigate an airport during the holidays. So good on you. Yeah, great. Anybody else want to add to that or, you know, have a similar thing? This is your time. This is your opportunity to just kind of address anything that comes up as a win. We like to start with wins because we say what's wrong is always available and what's right is also always available. So to start learning to start leaning into what's right. Grace.
Yes, some of you have heard this, but some of you are new, but still, it's still a win. And that maybe you don't know, but ice cream has always been my thing. It's like, I've been sometime this year, maybe it's last year. What happens for me is sometimes my thoughts go across the billboard and I feel I'm safe if there's ice cream in the freezer. Now that goes back to earlier years, but that's how I've been. So I've always had to at least have it in the freezer. And I have 2 quarts of my favorite in there. And I think it was sometime last week. It was recent that I realized I'm not going for the ice cream at all. I even think about it, but no, I don't really feel like it, which to me is huge. So that gives me hope, actually. Not quite as well, it's all big, really. That tells me something's working. And for me, that's a big win. And it's still win. I still haven't eaten the ice cream. I ate all the cookies yesterday, but I didn't eat any ice cream. So I think what you say, yeah, let's not forget the wins when we're feeling like kind of grungy and maybe I don't have any more wins and blah 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 as we go downhill.
And sometimes the win can be I got out of bed today, or
actually for me it really is actually.
So
and if I get dressed, it's a win.
Yeah. That could be the win. It doesn't have to be some, oh, I dropped 47 pounds since yesterday. It doesn't have to be anything that extreme. It's
Yeah.
just a simple, I took care of myself. I was aware today.
Mhm.
Those are all wins.
And those are
So
also worthy of recognition too.
absolutely.
Yeah. So thank you.
Absolutely. Recognizing even the difference in our thought process as a
Yeah.
win. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
Thank you.
anybody else? This holiday survival series has been really great. And if you have access to it in the tapping circle, sorry, my dog is ringing the bell to go out. So if that's what you, or it's the reindeer on the roof, I'm not sure which. But if you have a chance to go back and look at the recordings, it follows the Thrive program in that the first one's kind of on cravings, and then you've got emotional eating and self-sabotage. And that's what the study groups do too. And those study groups will come out in the calendar as well inside the Facebook group. So, and they're also in the portal, the student portal of your program. You'll
Study
have
groups?
access to the calls.
Study groups? What are the study groups?
So a study group is just something that it kind of helps people walk through the program, the Thrive program.
Oh, what you were talking about earlier.
Yes, but
Yeah,
I just because you mentioned
Yeah.
because we're in this last day, we're almost to the end of our hour, and there is one more integration session on Monday that Brittany will lead. But then this holiday series has been in lieu of the study groups.
I see.
So we'll start the study groups back up in January, and it's just a way to stay accountable. And I encourage you, even if you haven't done that module, show up, because the people, if you can, because the questions that get asked, the information that Brittany provides, it really helps you understand that module even that much more. And then you can always go back and watch the module or interact with the module later and have that information that you gain in the call as well. So I encourage you, if at all possible, go to the calendar in your portal and or on Facebook and show up to as many as you can. Invest in yourself. Commit to your greater commitment or your greater growth. So even if it's just this much, this much. So
I have a quick question.
go ahead.
I was having a lot of trouble with the portal. Is it easier to follow everything on Facebook?
Not
Just
necessarily,
from-
because the lessons in your lessons are going to be in the student portal.
Okay.
So on the Facebook, and there is, once you tap onto anything, and again, you're welcome. Suzanne, did you come late today? Is that what you were saying?
Yes, I did.
So Tuesday nights and Friday mornings, I do a welcome orientation call to kind of
good.
walk you through the portal,
Oh,
both the
good.
tapping circle and the Thrive, so that you can
Great.
get an idea of how they're set up and what information is available to you in there. But in the student portal in your program, there is always a tab for the calendar for the calls that are coming up. And in addition to that, down at the bottom, there's all the recorded calls. So those are definitely resources that you can take advantage of.
I am so lost when trying to follow that. So
Okay.
the next opportunity to be in a session like this when you do it is when?
Well, Brittany's going to do the holiday series finale integration on Monday.
Okay.
Let me, if you don't mind, really quick, I will look at that on my calendar. That is at 3 p.m. Eastern on Monday.
Oh, great. Good.
And then the welcome calls I have scheduled right now, Tuesday evenings and Friday mornings through the end of January.
Terrific.
And those we just do it's quite informal. I will walk through the Facebook group, the Thrive portal, and the Tapping Circle portal. But then it's also an opportunity to ask questions and that kind of thing. Okay.
Do you send an email out with the link? I'm sorry.
It's in the
link.
The links are in the email, the Facebook group, and Lena posts those. She pins those so they're always at the top of the page.
Great. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else real quick? We got
It looks like it looks like Brittany's thing on Monday is actually 6 p.m. Central. It's 4 p.m. Pacific, so it would be 5 p.m. I think.
Thank
Wait.
you. I have it on my personal calendar, so if I've given the wrong time. I know it's the right date.
But you're right, Suzanne. It takes a while, and I'm not there yet to have this all kind of coordinated and in my calendar and body. So it takes a while. But thank you, Annette.
Please check out the Facebook group or the time in your portal. I would trust that more than I would trust me. Marlene, real quick, what do you got?
Yeah, no, I just saw the 4 o'clock too. I started
Okay,
putting
thank you.
around my calendar, I put like red lines, which is Brittany calls, so that I don't miss them, and then I put them in my time zone, and I had 4 p.m. West Coast time.
Fantastic. Fantastic. I will verify and clarify my own calendar. So thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Annette.
All right. Thank you everybody for being here.
Yay.
Happy New Year. We'll all meet here back on Monday, Tuesday nights, Friday mornings, if you want to walk through the portals with me. And I just wish you all the best for this weekend and the new year. Be safe, and love to each and every one of you.
Thank you. It was great to meet you, Annette.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Great to
Annette.
be here.
Yep. Great
Yeah.
to be here myself too. So thank you for your
Yeah.
shiny faces. I appreciate you.
Oh,
Thank you.
so
All right.
great.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.